Winning is hard, but you know what is easier than winning? Losing. The game has evolved in a way where power creep is out of control, to the point where your brain does not want to do the difficult task of trekking through the Shadow Realm. You are a smart player. You do not want to risk your own safety, knowing the risks. So you decide to, instead of making the effort to win games, you lose games, because it is easy to do so. That's the reason you clicked on this video. This video will provide the 8 best ways to maximize being the clown of games, at least one of which you're already doing. However, as a note, we are not trying to intentionally lose games. That would be too easy. Anyone can simply lose a game, but we want to show that we are actually good players, trying our best, but in reality, we're not. So sit tight, and let the professionals do the talking. Number 1. Blame everything. Whenever you are losing games or matches in Yugioh, whether it be locals, friendlies, or online, there's always a reason why you lose. You already know that you are playing perfectly with no flaws in your deck, yet you are still losing. It's never your fault. Sadly, you are a victim of this problem. For some reason, the whole world is against you and punished for no reason. Whether it be you never having a good hand, or your opponent having the most perfect hand in existence. Your opponent is always having the out while you don't. Or your opponent is playing a meta deck and using the most expensive and strongest cards in the game. It's never your fault. Use this opportunity during matches, text chats for simulators, or whenever to tell your opponent that it's not your fault you're losing. Continue this throughout your games, even carrying on to your next match. Obviously you're good at the game, so why is it your fault that you're being rewarded with an unfair advantage? Whenever you lose, complain. Whenever you win, complain. Call a judge that your opponent is stacking or slow playing. Jokingly stall for time to show that the game is unfair, and most of all, make sure your opponent knows that it's not your fault. Although you may get a judge warning or get kicked out from your venue, always remember, it's not your fault that things shape out like this. Number 2. Keep changing decks. If you always win the same deck, you know you're not playing right. Change decks, specifically decks you have never played before. With Yu-Gi-Oh's tendency to have very complicated combos and just being a complicated game in general, it's impossible for you to know what's right or wrong playing the deck, therefore making it an excellent method to boost efficiency to lose games. It's not your fault the game is too hard. All you have to do is follow this cycle. Play a deck, if you win, swap decks. Rinse and repeat. Although in the short term you may experience some unfortunate wins, but at least in the long term, you will experience a lot more losses under your belt. Number 3. Let him cook. There has been many popular players, specifically Yuki tubers, who have been experimenting with various engines or cards resulting in major tops. So why not follow their example? You are them. Which comes to this tip. Combine archetypes together. Put an archetype you never heard of with a meta deck. Add cards that you think that will break the meta, such as Vesper Jutsu, into your deck and tell yourself with absolute confidence that the deck is broken. Even if it doesn't work, keep using it. Put in Waking of the Dragon in Labyrinth. Side deck an entire Tenpai engine to make going second easier. If deck like Fling Smith can be slotted into many other decks, why can't other decks? 60 card tournaments exist with random cards. Why not? Although it sounds like a method to win games, the key to following this method is to keep playing it and believe it works. The more you play it, the more your opponent will learn about your secret techs. The easier they can deal with it and counter you. You want this to happen. And if you get countered, instead of learning the best way to counter that, add more cards so that there's no way your opponent will be able to cover every card in your deck. Number 4. Don't research. As there are more than 10,000 cards to exist, different decks, different variants, different formats, the ban list and more, there is always so much that an individual can learn. Don't look up guides for your favorite deck. Don't look up tips or lists of top players of a specific deck. If you are, then stop. With the exception of watching this video should be the only guide. The idea of this is to ensure everything is in order and set up for failure. And the good thing is, there is proof. It has been scientifically proven there are many good players who are unaware of the existence of many summoning mechanics, such as Pendulum, Gemini, or Union, and there are many more players who do not know what product grade does. The results are very positive. Number 5. Spend less money. Whether it is Master Duel or the TCG, Duel Links to the OCG, there is always a fee that you need to play in order to get better cards. You do not want to do this. Instead, spend less so you do not obtain the best cards. See that Fiendsmith engine? Don't buy that. See that very affordable Tempai deck? Don't buy that either. Instead, use that money for the things that are important, such as paying your bills, hospital bills, paying your taxes, more sleeves, deck boxes, and obviously Pokemon cards. This way, you ensure the maximum misery and irrelevance to getting better at the game. Get any joy from any of these, aside from Pokemon cards, I suggest you get a therapist. So now, we come back to the idea that since we are spending our money on this irrelevant stuff, how would you get cards? Time to dive into bulk, finding whatever you can find. Use the cards that you get from booster packs that you get from getting last place. If you open an expensive or playable card, donate it to another person because you are a nice person, so they can get an upper hand in winning, or rip it if you feel like it. What you desire from these packs are all the commons and even super rare cards, as they have all one thing in common: useless. Fortunately, you are too nice and spending your money on having a life, and therefore you cannot afford better cards. These are the best options for your deck. With these new cards, you can watch your opponent play with themselves while you sit there and being unable to play a single card. Blame society that you have to pay the bills. Number 6. Stop reading cards. It's quite a known fact that Yu-Gi-Oh players are known to never read. Look at all the text that you have to read. And not only that, you have to remember a lot more cards than the cards in your deck, assuming that you know the cards in your deck. Unfortunately, it is inevitable that you need to read to some extent. To minimize our chances of reading, firstly, never touch your opponent's physical cards. For online players, turning off the card prompts to see the full card text. Secondly, never ask your opponent what the card does. Thirdly, always give the green light to let your opponent play that card. You just want to play your turn as soon as possible, letting everything go through with showing the time till your turn. And finally, play a pendulum deck. Ideally, a deck that runs more pendulum monsters than spells and traps. This will guarantee that you will not understand the card effects, as your brain is too smart to take on tasks too hard. Not reading will not only give you an excuse to be given unexpected surprises from your opponent or even yourself, but living up to the stereotype too, killing two birds in one stone. Number 7. Don't stop playing. 99% of gamblers quit before they win. If you are losing, keep playing till you win. If you hit the jackpot by winning a game, keep playing. You have a win streak to maintain. The more you play, the more losses you rack up. The more external factors will apply to the player, discussed further in our final tip, leading to frustration, and in combination with other points from the video, you'll be a good loser. And last of all, stop having fun. Having fun engages your brain to release multiple neurochemicals such as dopamine and endorphins, helping you to feel that you have succeeded and in the short term potentially making you win. You still lose, but you have fun. Don't have fun. Rage. Hate every moment you spend playing Yu-Gi-Oh! This will lead to a healthy mindset on destroying your own mentality, ultimately providing the most simple wins, losers. And losers are punch the balls. So now, with these 10 tips, you have excellently optimized your chances to efficiently lose your games, comfortably never moving up, and staying stuck between Rookie and Bronze, if Master Duel or remain in last place at Locals. Congrats if you're able to become worse than worse. It's very simple to follow. If these tips help you, let me know down in the comments below. Give a subscription if you're able to successfully consistently lose games, and like if you want to see even more tips like this to lose.